Let's challenge a dangerous industry assumption. When corrosion failures happen downstream of shale gas wells, especially horizontal fractured wells, too many people point to the stimulation fluids as the cause. But that theory doesn't hold up. The real threat isn't the frac fluid, it's what happens next. During initial flowback, these wells produce at extremely high rates. The velocity and turbulence are off the charts, and those aggressive flow conditions do something that's often overlooked. They mobilize solids, sludge, sand, biomass, scale fragments. All of it gets swept into the pipeline system during those first few hours and days. And if that wasn't bad enough, once the well settles into normal production, terrain-induced slugging can remobilize debris again and again. These are not benign particles. They're the precursors to failure. Here's what happens. 1. The solids settle into low-flow areas where stagnant water accumulates. 2. They form dense, patchy deposits. 3. Those deposits trap water and microbial activity. They become highly corrosive. 4. And that leads to underdeposit corrosion, UDC, the silent killer. We're not talking about marginal damage. We've seen corrosion rates that exceed 50 times the normal baseline, and in some cases, failure in less than a year. And here's the paradox. If you apply batch corrosion inhibitors while those solids are still in the line, you may actually make things worse. Why? Because inhibitors don't just coat the pipe. They interact with their environment. And when they contact solids, they can create chemical gradients and localized pH shifts that generate microenvironments more corrosive than the fluid ever was. These supercells of corrosion don't respond to more inhibitor. They get worse. Field data confirms this again and again. So why does this keep happening? Because the risk models are outdated. Because the mitigation strategies are procedural, not mechanistic. And because the technical community keeps focusing on fluid composition, while ignoring what's moving with the fluid. It's time to break that cycle. We need to stop assuming that frac fluids are the main threat. They're not. We need to stop believing that standard pigging intervals are good enough. They aren't. And we need to stop blaming field teams for failures when they've done exactly what the program told them to do. The problem isn't non-compliance, it's misdiagnosis. Here's how we fix it. Use TRIAGE or equivalent risk classification tools to flag pipelines exposed to high flowback rates and terrain-driven slugging. Immediately schedule pigging and solids removal after startup or any flow surge event, before inhibitors are introduced. Confirm solids-free conditions using inspection pigs or sampling methods before inhibitor deployment. And educate integrity engineers, operators, and vendors that inhibitors only work when applied to clean surfaces. A pipeline coated in sludge isn't protected, it's primed for failure. This isn't about assigning blame, it's about upgrading our approach. Shale gas pipelines, especially those fed by horizontal fractured wells, are uniquely vulnerable to accelerated UDC. That vulnerability is not captured by traditional steady-state corrosion models. It's dynamic, episodic, and without intervention, it's inevitable. The bottom line? We can prevent these failures permanently, but only if we shift our focus from fluids to solids, from box checking to mechanism-based mitigation, and from reaction to prevention. This isn't theory, it's happening in the field right now. Let's shine the spotlight on the real cause and take the blindfold off our risk models. Because every failure we prevent protects the safety of our people, the environment, and the credibility of our integrity programs. Thank you for listening.